All right, so good morning.
Morning.
This is Linda Foley from Bold Coast Crochet.
And Linda, why don't you explain, because most people are not going to know what that means. Where is the Bold Coast of Maine?
Bold Coast of Maine is down East Maine, which is Washington County. It's a pretty big county in the state of Maine, and it's also the poorest county in the state of Maine, but it's the most beautiful. There's lots of rocky ocean front here, very small towns, fishing villages. The population here is really small, like 1,200, I think. In the summertime, it goes up, lots of summer homes here, but it's really rough coast, not a lot of beaches.
And you're in Lubec, correct?
We're in Lubec, which is the easternmost town in the United States. Sunrise is first here.
We've actually been to Lubec, and it's a long way to get there.
Yes, it is. My kids tell me that all the time. It's 9.5-hour drive.
Next step's Canada.
Oh yeah, we can. Well, the bridge is right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Campbell Island is right off the coast of Lubec. Yeah,
it is right. The bridge is right downtown Lubec. Yeah.
We've had a lot of visitors that come into our store here that have been to Lubec that have bought a lot of our soaps. We've always said it's the cleanest little town in Maine.
Yeah, there used to be a gift shop there called Northern Tides.
Northern Tides.
And they sold our soap for years, and then she sold the business, and then things kind of went haywire.
Right.
Business, I think.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, that it was astonishing how much soap she sold at that store.
Yeah, people here love that kind of stuff. People here are very, it's kind of it's an artsy community for sure. Anything local, handmade is the best.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So Linda and I have a little bit of history. We go back a year or two.
We do.
We used to be step siblings.
Yes.
Her mom married my father, and I was
Yes.
sorry to hear about your mom's passing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we were just talking, and we last spoke when we were about 19.
Yeah.
Roughly.
That's like a lot of years ago.
I'm going to say how many.
I know exactly.
I wasn't gray then, and I don't think I could grow a beard then. So the whole Facebook and fiber world has kind of brought us, full circle back around again.
Right.
We manufacture yarn, and Linda started her business. Tell us a little bit of why you started your business. And what you do.
Okay. Well, Adam and I, we moved here with the idea that we were gonna, do a lot of adventuring. We had a small RV, and we knew we wanted to travel around. And we lived here for a couple of years, and one day I made the decision to just go full time. And we planned on being gone for 2 or 3 years, cross country. We were going to live in Alaska for a few months. And I said, I need a hobby. I need something to do while we're traveling, something hopefully I can do in the passenger seat. And my grandmother taught me to knit when I was young, but I didn't continue with it. And I thought, well, maybe I can do that. And so I started doing some research online, and then I saw a lot of crochet stuff, and I thought, okay, maybe that'd be a little bit easier. Only one hook to chase around instead of 2 needles. And I started watching YouTube videos a few months before we were going to leave on our trip, and I taught myself how to crochet. And, I made my first scarf, was really proud of myself. And we left on our trip, and I continued learning from YouTube videos. I could not read a pattern, and I'm really 2 years in, I'm just starting to figure out how to read patterns. They're very confusing to me. Sometimes I just wing it. But I started making scarves and hats, and then moved on and started making summer tops and beach bags and totes. And my favorite thing to make are like wraps. I love making shawls and wraps. I really do. And so when we were on the road, we were only on the road for 6 months, and COVID started happening. And at first, nobody really knew what was going to happen with it, how serious it was going to be. But a lot of people panicked, as we all know. And campgrounds started closing. Services started closing. Restaurants were closing. And we were at this point, we had made it to California, and we had to make the decision. Are we going to try to continue? The border closed and the ferry to Alaska closed. We were supposed to be in Alaska all summer long, and now we couldn't get there. So we made the decision to come on back. And we did. We hightailed it back. We were back here in record time because there was nothing open to, grocery shopping was, kind of scary. So we got back here, all the way back to Lubec, found a furnished place to rent because we had sold everything to go on this trip. And I had piles of things that I had crocheted. So
You were just crocheting for yourself then?
I was just crocheting for myself, learning how to do it, crocheting for myself. I hadn't even given anything as a gift yet. I was just really learning. And, started out with really cheap yarn because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on yarn and just make something that's going to sit in the closet for the duration. But I had piles of stuff, and Adam said, why don't you try to sell your stuff? And I said, okay. But there weren't any markets, which is, here, you really have to go to a market and bring your things to, the local market. And he said, why don't you try an Etsy shop? So I started an Etsy shop. It was really slow going though. I don't have a website. I have a Facebook page, Bold Coast Crochet. I don't have a dedicated Instagram account. And it was really slow. Then, because of COVID, virtual craft fairs started popping up on Facebook. So I joined a couple of them, and I started selling like crazy. And I couldn't even keep my shop full, especially during the holidays. It was great. And I think that people realize that maybe this is how it's going to be for a while. So they turned their holiday craft Facebook pages into permanent craft pages. And so there's one called Shop in New England, and I sell a lot of things by posting on their page. So COVID sort of pushed me into this, and now here I am. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but hopefully I'll get, my Instagram page is growing. It's just my name, it's just me, but it's growing, and I do post my stuff there.
Yeah.
I have a question. I think that a lot of people who are kind of thinking who knit or crochet or make things that have always thought, oh, maybe I could sell them, is how did you figure out how to price things? How do you have a formula, or you don't have to share the formula, but how did you get
there? Is a formula that a lot of people use, and I didn't use it. It's however much you pay for the yarn times 3. But to me, that wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I went on Etsy and started looking at what everybody else was charging, and that's how I came to my prices.
Right.
And it's surprising. You think you're charging too much, and somebody buys it and says, wow, that's a bargain. So
some people do.
So yes, you're right. Some people do, and some people, yeah. But I think I remember, Jim, you said to me once, there's a market for everything. You just have to find that market, because I said, I don't know, because I love your yarn. It's like the best yarn I've ever used.
I didn't hear that. What was that again?
I love Good Karma Farm yarn. It's the best yarn. And it also smells the best, by the way. I bury my face in that yarn. It smells so good. But it's really good quality yarn. So you pay more for it. And I don't mind paying more for it. You have to, and then you cross your fingers that somebody's going to see, the quality in that and pay the price. And they do. You were right. They do. You just have to go to the right place.
Yeah, you want to be at the top of the market or the bottom of the market. You don't want to be in the middle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to make yourself stand out, and
yeah.
So
right.
Can you show us some of the stuff that you do make?
Yeah, I can. Okay. This is Melba.
That's great. Oh.
This is no. This is I'm kind of I love ponchos, and I love the boho style. You know, I love all that.
It kind of looks like a serape.
What?
Kind of looks like a serape.
Well, this is actually called like a poncho top. I haven't sewn it. I'm not done with it yet. It's on there, but you know, it's really cute. And this is, you know, this is not expensive yarn, but it's really soft and it's really beautiful. And this is a really fast crochet. This takes no time at all to do.
I don't crochet at all, but that looks like something I might be able to do.
I love, yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely could. And I love this. And these are really popular. This is Good Karma Farm yarn. This is my favorite undertow.
Yeah.
I love this color. And this is a wrap. And actually, you know, this yarn is so nice because you can wear it, you know, as a wrap, and you can wear it as a scarf.
Beautiful.
And thank you. Yeah. And the yarn is just so gorgeous. And this is not a really difficult stitch pattern either, you know, but it's just so beautiful. I love it. And I always put a little trim of something on. This is like kind of like little fuzz. This is this yarn actually. I put it on there as a little trim. I found people like a little something added, you know, on there. Yeah. So that's beautiful. And I just, I got to try some of your other colors. I'm stuck on this color. And this is, in the summertime, I crochet with all cotton.
Yeah.
So this is 100% cotton yarn. It's really pretty. And this is a wrap.
That's really pretty. I love those colors. It looks like the summer.
Thank you. And this I have on my page with one of Adam's photos, which I didn't mention. I love to pair my projects with his photos because his photos are so beautiful and there's so many beautiful colors. So this is my sunset over Lubeck poncho.
Oh, nice.
We actually do that with some of our yarns too, of that Amy will make bats or paint socks to match a photograph or it's so beautiful. Yeah, I know. I said to Jim, I said, I need to learn how to spin because those bats that you made,
they're
so beautiful.
They
so
really
beautiful.
are. I mean, not the, I mean,
gorgeous.
The fiber's beautiful.
It is.
Whenever you're ready, we've got drop spindles, we can find wheels, we got looms.
I know.
Sock machines.
Adam asked me, you know, because I said, maybe I need to get that for my birthday. And he said, well, maybe we need to figure out what you need first before you go buy it.
Well, you know what? I'm just thinking, you know, you're going to start traveling. You're going to get to travel.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is learn how to drop spindle because they're little. And you could do that in the car. People drop spindles sitting in the car.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
We see a lot of people too when we do all these fiber shows walking around spinning. They'll have they'll have the roving in their pocket and just spinning away.
I met a woman.
I've seen people walk around knitting while they're walking around. And
drop spindle. I mean, that's traditionally how it's done is that you do it while walking. And but there was a woman here a few years ago who was obviously an obsessive spinner. And she spins on airplanes. She spins in her car. Obviously not while she's driving.
I would say obviously.
Maybe not, but so it totally that'd be perfect to learn.
It must be a great conversation starter too.
Yeah.
If you're doing that on a plane or something, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Now, as COVID ends, so you've never been to any of the big fiber shows?
No.
Oh boy.
It'll be all new to me. We have one little tiny fiber show here in Lubeck in the museum. And I went to it just 1 year and there was maybe, I don't know, maybe a half a dozen people there that were displaying their items. And that was it, you know? Right. So, and I loved it, but
you have to plan a trip to Rhinebeck, New York.
Yeah. New York State Sheep and Wool Festival, which they
Where's that? What part of New York is that?
It's near Albany.
Okay.
It's right on the river.
Right by Hyde Park.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think you is that the one where you guys like sell out of all your yarn?
Yeah.
Or Massachusetts?
Yeah. They haven't announced if they're going to do it this year. I think they're just kind of waiting to see what's going on. I'm fingers crossed that they will. But it's the weekend after Columbus Day weekend in October. Historically, that's when it is. So hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah, and the thing that happens in Freeport, what's that called again?
Ba.
Remember I said, what spa?
Yeah, when you meet so many fun people, it's really, really fun.
That's probably one of our favorite shows to do because you actually get to interact with the people. You know, they take over these 3 hotels and you just hang out.
That's cool.
So you vend, you do very well vending there, and then you actually get to talk with the people buying your yarn.
Yeah, so we made a ton of friends there. It really is really, really
I bet.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's gonna that would have already happened, right?
They did it
so
virtually.
not this year.
Next year, I'm sure.
Yeah. Right. And you know what I like too about the bats and spinning, you can choose your own colors, and can you also choose how I'm not good with the terminology yet, you guys, so
you're thinking blending,
how thick or thin whatever. Or is it
when you spin it, you mean you can
if you spin it, because I really love textured stuff, you know.
Right. Well, the thing is when you're first learning to spin, you your first yarn will be called novelty yarn because it's
art yarn,
or
fat and skinny.
Yeah. And then
I bought some like that.
You get better at it and you're able to spin finer and finer yarn, but then going back the other way, like to spin a thicker yarn or a lumpy bumpy yarn or any of that is almost impossible because like you as you get better, it's hard to go,
got to go backward. Yeah.
With the bats, you can peel off as much as you want. So you can make a thinner yarn or a thicker yarn. You can spin them horizontally or vertically. So you got lots of options when
color
you're
wise. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I just really like that because, when you're buying yarn, you're buying what's available, right. And although there's so much yarn out there, I would be scrolling online and hours would go by and I'm like, oh, I've just been looking at yarn for 5 hours, so many beautiful yarns out there.
That's true. I mean, we go to Rhinebeck for New York State Sheep and Wool. We don't really get out of our booth. We're really stuck in one place the entire time, but
no, we're not stuck.
Well, no, not stuck. I mean, that's working. We're working.
Right. We're working.
But when you do get a break and you get a chance to walk around, I come back and I go, I don't know how we sell any yarn at all. There's so
much there.
Yeah. We do. We sell out generally. So yeah, I mean, it's just,
I know.
Great.
I would be dangerous there. I mean, I would just want everything I saw. I'm in that stage, where, and I don't have a huge stash of yarn. I have one little wall of yarn.
You're using it.
I do use it, and I try to find a project and then buy the yarn for that project.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't want to. I'd rather buy it and use it than have it sit.
We actually sell quite a bit of yarn to people that don't knit. They like the way it looks and they like the way it feels, and they'll put it into a ball and put it in a bowl on a table.
There was literally yesterday a woman here from Miami. Her name was Lola, and she did not knit, and she came this close to buying a skein of yarn just because she just wanted it. She had
smelled good.
She didn't know what she was going to do with it, and I was just like,
okay.
Well, I get it though. I get it. It's so yarn is just, it really is pretty.
Yeah,
it really is. But
yeah, that's so fun.
Different yarns for everything.
Well, there are some yarns that I have tried that I just don't like at all.
Yep.
Yeah. And oddly enough, there's what is this called? This yarn?
Yeah. Nora, yep.
No, I made, somebody asked me to make them a pair of leg warmers with the Nora 100% wool.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, my hands were raw by the time I got done doing that. That was not fun for me. It was not soft at all. This has silk in it. It's not bad. But I love yarn that's soft and that, because when you're crocheting, it's gliding through your fingers the whole time.
Yeah.
So I like it to be a little soft, and even some cotton yarns are really stiff and hard to work with. But I use those when I make beach bags and things like that, and those
a little more rugged.
Has to be stiff. It's got to be cotton. It's got to be stiffer. Yeah.
So Linda, tell us again what how would somebody find you on Etsy? And we can put up a thing with the address, but why don't you tell people like how?
Okay, on Etsy, my shop name is Bold Coast Crochet, and they can find that. And I think also if they type my name, Linda Foley, it'll also come up as my shop name. And I don't have a website, but I do have a Facebook page called Bold Coast Crochet, which you can find that way, or by my name as well, you know. And right now, that's how I advertise, you know, just by that. But I post everything. I post on my own private Instagram account, and then I post on my 2 Facebook pages, and then I post all the, you know, Shop in New England, Washington County Virtual Craft Fair, I think it's called. Yeah. You know, Shop in Lubec. This, you know, I just post everywhere. People are probably sick of it. Probably like, didn't I just see this go by? But you have to do that.
Yeah.
With COVID, hopefully we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with COVID. Have you guys made plans to pack up the van and start heading out, or?
Not me.
Yeah.
I haven't. Adam will, because he has to do it for photography.
Yeah.
And he loves to travel. I mean, I'm probably holding him in one spot. But, you know, by the time we got back here, and like I was telling Jim, you know, we had become minimalists. We got rid of everything.
Yeah.
And when we had to come back, we had to find a furnished house to rent.
Right.
And we've been accumulating things over time. And I said, you know, I don't think I want to go through that again. So we'd like to have a base. We'd like to buy a house and have a base, and still have a camper van of some sort.
Yeah. And
Adam will still, you know, go and do his thing. And we have 2 cats now. We've accumulated them as well.
So how about tell us a little bit about what Adam does, you know, because it sounds like your businesses kind of merge a little bit.
They do a little bit, yeah. So Adam is, he's a software engineer, but, you know, his love is photography. He's a landscape photographer. He's an astrophotographer, nighttime sky photography. He taught himself. His mother bought him his first little camera when he was a kid, and he just fell in love with taking pictures, and especially the night sky. He loved it. So he's self-taught. He started his own business.
And what's the name of that business?
Adam Woodworth Photography.
Okay.
And he has a new book out.
He has a new book out, Night Sky Photography. Nice. And that's on Amazon, and it's a great book. It's all about teaching people how to take night sky photographs. From the very easiest beginning to, you know, editing your photos for, you know, to try and look like his, although nobody can do that. But so he's
obviously off camera right there.
he's right over there. I told him not to go too far in case something technical happened, or if I forgot something. But he bought his first camper van in 2016. I think 2016, an old one, fixed it up, got it running really well, and took off and went cross country to Alaska. And that was right after he left. We had only been dating for about 4 months, and he left. And he went cross country.
Came back.
He was supposed to be gone for a really long time, but he came back. Don't know why he came back. I don't have any idea.
He had his chance.
He came back, and he had been coming here to Lubec for quite a few years to do, you know, take pictures, because it's just so beautiful here. Yeah, there's, you know, the skies are clear. There's not a lot of light, so easier to take the pictures of the Milky Way. And so he still goes on trips. Well, not so much since COVID, but he will take off and go sometimes 2 or 3 months at a time. And he'll go in the winter time. He'll go, you know, out west, down south, out west where it's warmer. But COVID has affected him as well, though. He had workshops all scheduled in Alaska when we were supposed to be there, and that's a huge moneymaker for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were all canceled, and he hasn't been able to hold a workshop since.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to do more things online. You know, he has online classes and video tutorials and things like that. Because I got the idea of pairing my crochet with his photographs. From a woman in California, actually. And I messaged her and asked her if she minded if I did the same thing. And she said, not at all. We're far apart. We won't affect each other at all. So, and people love that. They really love to see that, you know. And, you know, and I say right on my Etsy page, if you want to purchase this photo, so I give him a plug and here's where you go for that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's everyone's business has changed a little bit because of COVID. Has to, you know, think outside the box and do some different things. And hopefully, you know, by the end of summer, he'll be able to get back out there and do some workshops. He's a great teacher. He's a wonderful teacher.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So I just want to loop back real quick to when you first started your business. You know, I see you've got a ball winder there.
Oh, yes. I love this.
You must have a Swift. I've got the same one. It's a little.
I've got the Stanwood ball winder and the Stanwood Swift.
Okay. So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to get started a new business.
No.
Not a huge upstart.
No. And these were gifts.
Well, it's even better.
I know. Every time Adam says, "Hey, Linda, you know your birthday's coming up or Christmas is coming. What would you like?" Well, let me see. It's like my Furls crochet hooks, which I love, and I just got this new one yesterday. Look how beautiful this is.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Yeah, very pretty.
Isn't that beautiful? It's one of their Galaxy hooks, and it's just beautiful. I love it. So Furls crochet hooks are my favorite. The streamline, they fit my hand really nicely. I love them.
Yeah,
and nice. They range in price. You know, they range from, you know, $22 to $160. Not kidding.
Wow.
Nice.
180 or something like that for one.
Yeah.
Love these hooks. This was a gift that Adam gave me. This is actually his friend made the handle. It's wooden. He turned it.
Yeah.
And then all these different sizes that just plug right into it.
Oh, what a great idea.
Adam gave me this right when we left on our trip. That was really nice.
Wow.
You know, because we're really kind of unfamiliar with the crochet world because most the people that there's such a line between crocheters and knitters.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. You're using the same stuff, only differently.
Yeah.
But we deal with more knitters than crocheters. So it's kind of nice to hear about the different hooks. And I got a bunch of tiny crochet hooks that came with
tiny.
Yeah,
really tiny, like 1.25 millimeter crochet hooks. And you use, it's called crochet thread.
Yeah. It's
tiny. I don't have any of that, and I have not done that. I think the smallest hook size I've used was probably this one right here. This is tiny. Can you see how tiny that is?
Tiny. Yeah.
And this is, I think this is this is 3.75. Yeah. They go smaller than this, but this is the smallest one I use.
Right.
You know, but and then of course they have huge ones. They have crochet hooks that are 20 millimeter.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
great, huge things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there are more knitters in the world than there are crocheters. Probably that's just true. I don't know why that is, because really crochet is faster, you know, than knitting. So
I think they both go, I mean, crocheting and knitting, they both go way, way back, you know.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Way, way, way back. I mean, I think in Ireland, crochet, I think, is older than knitting. I think crochet goes so far back.
I don't really know about the history of crochet.
I'll have to start looking it up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've watched what?
What's on the hook now?
Oh, well, right now, because summer's coming, so I've switched over. And this is all cotton, making a poncho. I love ponchos. Yeah. And you know, crochet is so much different. I don't know if you can see that, but there's little baubles on there.
Yeah, fun. Yeah.
You know, little the stitches are different. And you know, people get really excited when somebody comes up with a crochet stitch that looks like knitting. And there are a few of them, and everyone's like, "Oh yes, look at that! It looks like it's knit." You know, it's like a big deal.
Fooling everybody.
Yeah, I haven't tried knitting. You know, when I was little with my grandmother, you know, and I probably just made like you know, a row. Well, I don't know what do you call it in knitting? Like in crochet, you make a chain.
Yeah. No, you would probably, like when I was growing up, my mom taught me to knit, I think when I was about 5, and I made Barbie scarves. So I would cast on, you know, like 4 inches of something, and I would knit, and it would be so tight, and you know,
right.
So I would make Barbie scarves. So you could make I-cord. I-cord would be what you would make that would be similar to a chain. But I think You probably were making Barbie scarves, is my if I had to guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because with knitting,
Straight line.
you cast on, right? You cast on your,
Mm-hmm.
With crochet, you just make a slip knot.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, so I mean, I have done, chain. That's pretty easy. And I've done an edge around a knitted hat, like a crocheted edge, but that's as far as I've ever.
No, I've never cast on with a hook or needles. The only knitting I can do is on the sock machine.
You're just making the yarn.
No, I make the yarn and I use the sock machine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the sock machine. Yeah, that's right. I've seen I've watched lots of videos on YouTube of people that have sock machines and making socks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
People make,
ready. We'll take down that rabbit hole too.
I know, right? And well, there's also a machine that looks like the sock machine, but people are making hats with it.
Yeah, it's called an Addy machine. It's kind of like the difference between knitting and crocheting.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen lots of that too. But you know what? To me, when I'm watching people make a hat that way, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Socks are a different story. Socks scare me. People, I won't even crochet socks. I've seen videos of people crocheting. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going. No, that scares me. I'm kind of a chicken. I stick to
I can make a pair of socks in 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. We love wool socks. We wear them all the time. Adam's got like 120 pairs of wool socks, and I have not made him any.
Well, maybe we can do a trade for a book for some socks.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Big fan of barter.
That's right. Yes, and as soon as things are lightened up on the COVID in the COVID world, we want to come and have a tour of the farm and see it.
Yeah, be great.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Make sure he brings his camera because there's lots of things to look at here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, Linda, thank you very much for taking the time. It's been really
Thank you for asking me and inviting me. I enjoyed it very much. I love your yarn. I can't wait to get there and see everything,
soon.
Right there. I love your videos.
Thank you.
That last one was great, with the whatever that big machine is called.
The Carter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I loved that. That was great.
Good.
So, okay.
Well, thank you. Have a good day. And
thank you. You too.
let's,